And in Elon's view, he has been very critical of over-regulation in the United States, frequently using the football field analogy. This is the idea that the game works best when there's 1 or 2 or maybe 3 referees on the field, depending on which football you're talking about. And that makes for an exciting game where the players can play, but the rules are still enforced. But what you don't want is for there to be 10, 20, 50, 100, 200 referees on the field, because as you put more and more referees on the field, there's less and less space and freedom for the players to play. The game obviously breaks down. And this is the analogy that Elon commonly uses for the state of American overregulation.
For SpaceX, Starship was sitting on the pad, the rocket, this giant rocket. We could build the rocket faster than they could process the paperwork to approve the launch. So we're sitting there for 2 months. If you're dealing with one agency, that's one thing. But if you've got to deal with 5 agencies, and the agencies all have to meet with each other, now you've got like 25 different meeting configurations that have to take place. You get just hardening of the arteries. You just can't make progress. Like, this is why we can't build high-speed rail in America. It's basically illegal.
Musk's call for deregulation, however, obviously isn't without controversy. At the end of the day, regulations are often established for safety, environmental protection, and consumer rights. So the idea of scaling them back raises legitimate concerns. Critics worry that loosening regulations might lead to reduced safety standards or fewer protections for the public. For example, consider the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, which enforces vehicle safety standards like seatbelts, airbags, and crash tests. Now, while this is admittedly a reasonably extreme example, if these regulations were weakened or removed, it raises the question, would automakers continue to prioritize safety, or would they be tempted to cut corners to reduce costs? While there may be potential for streamlining and simplifying the regulatory landscape, it's reasonable to be cautious about the consequences. At the end of the day, deregulation can have both positive and negative effects. Here's Musk's response to these concerns.
We've got far too many government agencies. The federal bureaucracy has gotten out of hand, and we just need to pare it down to a sensible level. And if it turns out that there's some regulation or agency that was doing something useful, we can put it right back.